Hello, and welcome to another Zentangle drawing session. In today's video, we'll learn a couple new tangles, but I'm also going to introduce you to an enhancement technique called TranZending. Now, this is simply the name or title that the Zentangle headquarters has given to the idea of layering tangles on top of one another to create a dimensional effect, or at least to add some different type of visual interest to your drawing. So we'll cover that in this session as well, so let's jump right in. Okay, we've got our tile prepared ahead of time and we're going to begin the drawing process. So we want to start by putting 4 corner dots in this tangle, or tile rather. So we're going to come in about a ½ inch or 3/4 of an inch in from each of the 4 corners and just create a little dot as a reference point. And now we want to draw a border in pencil between those 4 dots. This is going to help frame the inner part of our drawing. I just want to mention too that you don't have to have done a color wash for this drawing. I just did a bunch of them previously for that last session we did, and I figured it would be fun to use that. Now that we have that border drawn in, we're going to grab our pens and start with the first tangle, which is called Sand Swirl. And this is drawn very simply by creating a little line with a small inked or not inked. You can leave it open or you can ink it in. I'm going to ink mine in with a little dot like that. And we're going to draw a bunch of these around before we do part 2 of this tangle. So just pick any old place you'd like, and they can be of different sizes. As far as the length, we want to keep them roughly the same size for the effect of this tangle. We're going to just draw a handful of these in different places. Starting, of course, at that border we created. Alright, now that we've got a few on our tile, we want to start drawing some auras around each of them, and I'll show you how that works. We'll start here with this one. We just go right underneath that little end that we've created, and we draw an aura. And we'll repeat that several times. Alright, so I happen to do 4 auras there. And we'll go to the next one, right? It may be closer or further away depending how you drew yours. But we just repeat this same process. And when we encounter where we're going to hit up against another line, we just stop and imagine that that line goes behind. Just like that. But I'm going to draw the 4 lines, or in this case the 4 auras, for each shape. Okay, we just move on to the next one here. Now, before we continue with the next section here, take a look at your drawing and see if you want to add any more, fill in a different space, etc. But before you do that, just think about it. We also want to create a few of these same exact shapes coming off of existing tangles. And we can just draw these one at a time wherever we feel they'll be best suited to our visual appearance that we're hoping for or desiring. I'll show you here in just a moment that we want to leave a few open spaces. So don't fill everything in. Leave yourself a couple gaps because we want to add some contrast by inking those areas in. So let's see, I think I might just do one more right here. So now what I want to do is every area that we've left open, I'm going to ink that in. Sometimes when you've done something like this, it can be confusing. You think, oh, should I fill in here? But I use my little rule as I drew 4 lines, so that would be one of those 4 lines, so I don't want to ink that in. But a space like this, I've got my 4 lines already there, so yes, I'm going to ink this in. Again, there's no rule, but this is just to create a consistency in the pattern that we're drawing. So there we have our first pattern in place. Now before we go on and draw our second pattern on the tile, I want to show you the pattern here on just this post-it so you can see what it looks like and how it draws, because we're going to be drawing over the top of this existing pattern and it may be a little difficult to see what I'm doing that way. So I want to show you here. So the pattern is called Narfello, and it is very easily drawn as a subtly or gently curving line, and then we aura or parallel line right along with that to fill the desired area. And you can do it on either side. Whoops, either side, of course. I made a little boo-boo there in my sample on my post-it, but so now once you have those initial lines down, now we do part 2 of this drawing is to connect the bumps, if you will. So here's a bump, and so on. So what we'll do is we'll connect about the middle of that bump down to the middle of that one. And then from that middle down to the middle there. And it just kind of goes back and forth. And however you've drawn those initial shapes is going to determine where you connect these details here. And so again, you go off the page and you can't see it. So I'm coming from this bump down to there, and from there down to there, and so on. And then here would be a bump, so we're going to imagine that's going over there. Just like that. And it can be a little bit confusing when you're first doing it. But we just make that initial curvy line and then follow that pattern, and then we add these secondary lines, and that is called Narfello. So now with that in mind, let's take our tile, and you can orient it however you'd like, and we're going to create this pattern, this Narfello pattern, right over the top of this one. Just like that. Get that initial curve, and now giving it a space, and you can vary the space. You know, there is no standard space. I like to go about anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, but going about a 3/4 of an inch or so here on this tile. And you literally just follow the curve of the line you first drew. Just like that. And now we have to kind of imagine down where that line would come in. Probably would pick up right about there. Curve out, and then we'd probably have just a little bit of one there. Now we'll do the same on this side. Now you can flip it around. It might be easier that way so you can draw. If you're right-handed like me or left-handed, you probably were going the other direction. But I'm just following that curve. ignoring the stuff underneath. We're drawing right over the top of it. And this is what they call TranZending. All right. Now, once we have those lines in there, we've got to do those secondary lines. So from bump to bump, remember, from the middle of this bump, about to the middle of that one. And then from that middle, down to the middle there. And then down to the next one that we imagine. Same idea. This isn't a scientifically precise process, so you just do it visually to try to create this illusion that we're talking about here. And once we've got that down, so now we have both of our patterns on the tile. We have in the background, so to speak, our initial sand swirl pattern, and then over the top of that we have our Narfello pattern. So now we come to the time when we want to do some shading and highlighting that will enhance the effect of the layering or the TranZending that I mentioned. And we're going to do that by shading just the Narfello pattern, not the sand swirl pattern. And depending on the patterns a person would choose to TranZend with, you may or may not choose to do it that way. But in this case, I think this is going to give us the best appearance. So let's jump right into that. So I'm going to create a shadow on the right-hand side in this orientation of these lines. I'm doing that by laying a little graphite just to the right, but touching the black line. And then we'll disperse that, of course, with a tortillon. Okay, so we've got the basic shading and shadow down. So now we want to take a jelly roll pen or a paint pen, and we want to very carefully follow that same black line, but on the opposite side of our shadow. Gel pen is not working that well. I may switch here to my paint pen, which will be a little better with the opacity and with the application of white. We want it to really cut through. There we go. In a couple spots I've gone over the black line unintentionally, but that's easily corrected here in a final step. So just worry about getting your basic lines in place, and we'll connect everything and touch it up as we need to, because sometimes that, like I said, the paint pens are a little less precise and can create an effect too much, more than we wanted. Okay, so now that those white lines are in place, now we can touch up a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit wider or heavier pen and go back over these black lines. I know it seems repetitive to draw a line multiple times, but sometimes in art you're doing touch-up. Oops, and I missed a line here, I see now. Right here. Sometimes these effects are best seen at arm's length or arm's distance. That's a common factor in Zentangle art, is that we don't always anticipate looking at our art, under a microscope or just an inch or two away. It's at arm's length. So this gives you a better idea of how that looks, and no matter how you orient it, it should appear, in this case, if we did our drawing correctly, as though that top layer is above the other layer. And it just is an interesting way to add a new enhancement to your Zentangle drawing and artwork. Thank you so much for joining me again today in this Zentangle video. I appreciate your participation. I hope you were able to draw along with me, but if not, I'm always grateful for your views and your likes and even your subscriptions if you do so. So thank you so very much, and I look forward to seeing everyone again soon back here in the Tangles and Tunes channel. Take care now. Bye-bye.